There are two sides to every story, but the tarot often reveals a third side, the truth. We're looking into the D4VD and Celeste Rivas case today. There's a lot of noise in the media right now, so we're going to cut through that and look purely at the vibration of justice. Is the truth being hidden? And what is the likely outcome for those involved? Welcome everyone to Soul Power Tarot and Coaching. If you are new here, we use the cards to empower and uncover the truth. Let's get into the reading. So I'm first going to look at the current energy of the case behind the scenes so we can see what's going on. All right, so what is the current energy of the case? What's going on behind the scenes with investigators? Because as you all know, everything is sealed. We're not hearing anything. We're not seeing anything besides what we see online. We don't have confirmation of anything just yet in terms of justice for Celeste Rivas. So I'm going to ask this other deck the same question. What is the current energy in the Celeste Rivas case? What's going on behind the scenes? What's going on behind the scenes with investigators? What are investigators doing behind the scenes in the Celeste Rivas case? So I'm going to add these because I know all of us are waiting with bated breath for justice. You know, this little girl, because she was a child, let's call her what she was. She was failed by all those around her. So first, I like to look at the bottom of the decks, and these are the two cards that we have at the bottom of the decks. I'm going to show you now. We've got the Hermit and we've got the Mice. So state authorities are looking for information. The Hermit is about sort of going within, doing your investigation, looking for information, trying to light the way, trying to find clarity and to really find out what happened. So it's like they've gone, they've done their investigation, they still are doing their investigation, and they are wanting to shed light and to get clarity on what happened. And you've got the Mice here. And this talks about stress and people deleting stuff, like some of these people we saw online, them, not having as much information as they would like right now. Investigators, so they're investigating and they're looking and they are feeling like there are things that are being tampered with as they're trying to investigate. I see them feeling, really stressed and annoyed with that part of things and those involved who are not cooperating because, they recently had to put out a bench warrant for Neo the Asian because he was not cooperating. So we all saw that. That was in the media. We all saw how that went down. They are having a hard time with getting certain people to cooperate and help them put the pieces together, although they do have some information. Now let's get into the meat of the reading right here. The Eight of Pentacles and the Rider. So yeah, they're working on, you see this person working on his coins, so this symbolizes them working, putting a lot of effort into finding details of the case. The Riders is talking to people. They're looking at messages. They're looking at any evidence that is available. So this is them, but it's also them, talking to whoever they can or people they feel that are significant in the investigation. So they're working on it. Now, the next two cards, we've got the Eight of Cups. This is very interesting. So you see this woman walking away, and she's walking away into the darkness. The Eight of Cups and the ship. So their investigators are trying to track her movements. She also was a runaway, so that was known. And so a lot of her movements, a lot of the things that she did, how she got from point A to point B, all of that was very hidden and done in secrecy. And they're trying to figure out her movements, right? They feel like the situation she was in before she passed away, she wanted to walk away from, right? And because initially she ran away and went to be with D4VD and thinking she would have a better life. This little girl thought that she was going to have a better life, that she, was going to have a life of importance. Right? And they are trying to piece together the events that happened that led to her passing in her travels, because the ship is about travels, her travels, how she got from point A to point B. There are some sightings of her across state lines. So they're working on that and her last movements before her body was found. Now let's move on to the next thing here. So what we have here, the Knight of Swords, they're trying to get this information as quickly as possible, but there's a lot of things that are still unclear in this investigation. The clouds are about things that are unclear, and it also things that are like clouded in secrecy. But it seems like their main thing is they are struggling a little bit, I have to be honest, because of the secrecy, and certain details kind of are a little confusing when you have the cloud, right? The way that she was moved around, the way that she interacted with some of these people is really cloudy and iffy, right? So they're trying to, with the Knight of Swords, authorities are trying to sift through this iffy gray area, right? That they find, that they feel like, was around her. So that's one thing that's happening. They're looking for clarity. We have the world and the anchor. And so they're steadily looking online. They have God. When you see the world here, this also is one of my internet cards. It also means that they're looking at different people, different pieces of evidence that they have. They're piecing it together. I do also see that with the anchor. The anchor is about solid and steady. It's saying that they do have solid evidence, right? They've got a lot of different pieces. As you can see, these little triangles, they've got a lot of different pieces. They're kind of connecting the dots and putting all the information together, but they have some solid evidence. It's not like they don't have anything, especially online. They've got a lot of stuff online that they are working through and putting the sequence of events and timelines and things in place, or in order, I should say. So the next two cards, we have the Tower and the Ring. This here, as you can see, is a really chaotic card. They feel like things around Celeste, around the people who are around her, were so chaotic, were so toxic, and even some of the relationships, because the Ring's about relationships, right? Even some of the relationships, whether it was with D4VD or some of the other people around, right? They feel like at some point, things hit the fan. And with this Ring being here, this specifically her relationship with D4VD, that it went from feeling good to her and fun, and then things hit the fan. So stuff hit the fan. So they're feeling like this whole relationship was, of course it was, because she was a child, right? And he was an adult, he was a grown man. Of course it was a toxic relationship. So they feel like this relationship was a destructive one to her, and the people around her were destructive to her. Now, I'm gonna look at the next question, which is justice being served? I'm gonna look at that. Is justice being served? So let's get right to that, because at the end of the day, she does deserve justice. This little girl was failed on so many levels. She deserves justice. So, is justice being served for Celeste? Is justice being, or will justice be served for Celeste? So here we are, and I'm going to, so let's take a look. I'm going to put the cards out because, I often think back to how alone she must have felt and how much she trusted those people around her and how much she was betrayed. I honestly, a child like that, there's only so much that they know at that age. She was 13, 14. There's only so much that you know. And there's a certain level of naiveness. Let's be honest, at that age, right? You don't know all there is to know about life. You haven't lived. You certainly don't know about relationships. And you shouldn't be forced into one with a grown man, So let's take a look here. Is justice going to be served for Celeste? Is the question. My intuition tells me that it will be, to be honest, but let's see what this reading is saying. So the reading is saying yes, it's going to take some time, but yes. We've got the Fool card and you have the Tree. And what this is saying to me is it's going to take some time. The Tree is a card that says that there are things that like the investigation needs time, right? The investigation needs time. And you've got the Fool here. They have some new things. The Fool is all about new information in this particular context. So they have some new information that they have to go through. And also there are people that are not really being cooperative. So it's going to take them time to put all these pieces together. But this is telling me that justice will be served. It's just a matter of time. Now let's look here. The Page of Swords. There's a particular man, the Page of Swords, who's not talking, right? This is a man who was older than her, and this particular card tells me this is D4VD. And of course, we know he's not talking. There's someone here who has information. So what I'm seeing are two things. D4VD is not speaking right now, and there's someone who was in control of things, a manager type person who's also not saying too much right now with the Page of Swords. But that also tells me, I have to say, with the Page of Swords, even though these two people are not speaking too much, the Page of Swords is also information you find on the internet that is incriminating. It's not good information. So there's information that will incriminate these two people, even though they're not talking, and they think that their silence is going to help them in some type of way. There's going to be information that is incriminating online that authorities will uncover. That is what these two cards are. You've got the Two of Pentacles and the Sun. So again, this is telling me yes. So there are two people specifically that they will get information from. The Sun is a yes, but it's also in things that are revealed and brought to light. And there's two facts, but there are also two different people that they will be able to get information from and that the authorities will find information about moving forward. We have the Empress in reverse. This is like a mother figure and the Spirit here. So when this is upright like this, it's a mother figure. It's someone who's compassionate. It's someone who's loving, caring, a really good mother, good wife. When it's reversed, right, this is someone who is cold and careless and pathetic and just really mean. They're not caring. They're very, very uncaring. So you've got this Spirit card here. So what this is showing me is that there's someone here who was very callous towards, and this is a lot of the time it's female energy, who had a connection with Celeste before she passes. Someone who was really, really not nice to her. There is going to be information that connects this person, this female, to what happened to Celeste. So this is part of the justice that is being served. And then we have the Queen of Wands. Here's another woman. And we've got the bed. Here again, it's confirming to me they're going to obtain information. The bed is about obtaining information in this context. And you'll see this woman from this woman. There's going to be information. There's a woman who's going to talk, who knows a lot about what happened, and this person is going to talk. investigators are going to get information from this person. What they will do is they will link this person. Let me go back to these two cards to what happened, and this person's going to get scared and start singing like a canary. This person is going to be like, oh no, I'm not going down on my own. They've got stuff for me. I'm ratting everybody else out. And here is the Five of Swords and the Mind. So the Five of Swords in reverse. So this is interesting. When this is upright, this is difficulty, struggling to get a victory, struggling to get a breakthrough. And you see the person in the back right there, they're giving up. This person's giving up and walking away, right? But it was reversed. So when it's reversed like this is actually the opposite of that. So this means that they are going to work through. The authorities are there's going to be justice for Celeste. It's going to be stressful. It's going to make us stressful as we wait for them to get justice for Celeste. But they're going to push through the obstacles, the lies, everything that these people involved are throwing at them. So yes, there will be justice for Celeste. So I'm also now going to look at the outcome. What's going to be the outcome of this investigation? Let's go there, because I'm sure a lot of people want to know, like I do, what is going to be the outcome. So let's see what the cards can tell us about the outcome. So what's going to be the outcome of the Celeste Rivas investigation, and what's going to be the outcome of the Celeste Rivas investigation? People who were connected with this, they need to be brought to justice. They really do. Enough is enough. This little girl was failed very miserably. She most definitely deserves justice. And let's see here. What will be the outcome of the Celeste Rivas investigation? So let's see here. This is the juicy part. So as you know, I like to look at the bottom of the deck. So here, this is interesting. The authorities are gonna work to find the people who are connected. 3 people. They are focused on 3 people. Do you see these 3 people here? There are 3 people who were in cahoots together. And these 3 people are going to be brought to justice. And you have crossroads. They're going to find multiple things on these 3 that connects them. These 3 are going to try to get out of this, but they're not. So there are 3 people here who know what happened and who are involved in what happened to Celeste Rivas. So now let's get into the meat of the reading. We've got the Fool. So the Fool and the Stork. So they're going to move, justice will be served. The Fool here is saying that the investigators really soon are going to move forward. They're going to release the information that they have. They're going to move forward with bringing those involved to justice. There are people who kind of are trying to relocate and hide. Here again, there are 2 people, specifically 2 of Pentacles, that these are 2 people. And you see the Fox here who are trying to hide, trying to run from this, who are being difficult with authorities. But when the 2 of Pentacles is upright, this means the authorities will get them. They will get them. So they can be, as manipulative and difficult and try to think that they can outsmart authorities. They're not going to. You've got the Page of Swords. We will hear things. So the Bear here and the Page of Swords. The Bear is about like investigators who are in charge, police, like police chiefs. And the Page of Swords is about hearing information on the internet, in the media about this case. There may be a delay though. Page of Swords is a delay as well. So there may be a little bit of a delay, but we will hear from those, higher up in this investigation. It seems like their investigation with this Page of Swords is centered around the internet and the evidence that's there and interactions through the internet, because that's how, they interacted. And if you think about it, and from what we know, this is how Celeste interacted with a lot of these people, right? Around her on the internet, with David, with everybody. She was more exposed to the internet. There was more on her on the internet than there is, in person and pictures. There are some stuff, but there was more clear pictures of her face, of interactions with David, more connections to some of the other people around on the internet, right? So that's where investigators are focusing on, and they're trying to retrieve things that were deleted. That is going to be this evidence that is around. That's going to really help them a lot. The Page of Pentacles in reverse. So we have somebody here who, and you've got the snake. So somebody is going to turn on the others. The snake is deceit. Somebody is going to turn on the others involved in this. And I won't be surprised if the others turns on this person in return, but one person is going to try to betray the others and turn on them and pin it on them. So, yeah. And there is also, when you see the snake, it's a dark-haired woman. There's someone here who is trying to mislead authorities, which is not really smart, a female with dark hair. But authorities are going to figure that out. And once they do, this person then is going to start throwing people under the bus when this person feels cornered. And finally, we've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the man. So there is at least two people. I do feel like there's a third. We've got a woman here who, again, when it's up, this is upright. Someone's strong, someone who has everything going for them. They make things happen. When this is upright, but someone who's not strong, who's fickle, they crumble, they can't hold on to this image that they are trying to portray, right? They start to lose it. And then you have this man. So these two people, this person is going to start crumbling. She's going to give away this person here, this man. She's going to start getting very upset and scared and losing it and giving away information about this man. I do feel like it's D4VD that she's going to give information about, and she is going to turn on this. She's going to get tired of covering for him, for whoever else, and this person is going to spill it. She is going to feel pressured, she's going to feel cornered, and she is going to spill the beans. So they are going to get these people involved without doing too much. These people are going to turn on each other, and there is going to be justice for Celeste. They can set all types of, they can make it confusing, they can make it iffy, they can try to mislead authorities, but at the end of the day, these are professional investigators, and these people will be brought to justice. The longer this goes on, the more nervous they are. Don't fall for what you see from the outside. The longer this investigation goes on, the more nervous they are, and the more likely they will turn on one another. And some of them will even try to get plea deals, and we've heard this in the media, but I don't see this. Whoever is directly implicated, and especially if there's evidence linking them to this crime, will not get a plea deal or any type of immunity to where they're not brought to justice for it. So this is the reading, and I firmly believe that we're going to get justice for Celeste. The cards have painted a very clear picture today. Whether this legal outcome happens next week, next month, or even next year, the energy of justice is already in motion for Celeste. You guys can count on that. I want to know what your opinions are on this and what your intuition is telling you about this case. Do you agree with some of the things that the cards reveal or the timeline? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If you want to see more investigations like this, or if you need clarity in your own life, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Actually, don't hit it, smash it, and turn on the notification bell. We dive deep into the truth every Thursday, Wednesday, sometimes Tuesdays, here at Soul Power Tarot. Sending you all peace, love, and light. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.